Procedure. The participants were recruited after they had finished being in another study and were asked if they would be kind enough to spare a few minutes for these. The researchers' aim was to enhance the boredom, when they already had been in a study, hence enhancing fatigue effects. This would affect their interest in the long, mundane call that was in no relation of relevance to their own lives. Gauging exactly how much information they would be able to retain. A telephone call was listened to on a dull telephone in a quiet and dull room. They were previously told that they would be tested on the names of the people who were attending the party. This was known as the monitoring task. They also had an unexpected test with a big question on the names of the places mentioned. This was known as the recall task. In order to reduce the effects of order effects, the sequencing of the questions of both the groups were different, counterbalancing the tests. This meant that half the participants were asked to recall the names of the places mentioned and then the partygoers, and the others have recalled the names of the partygoers first and then the places mentioned. These two tasks are the measures of the dependent variable or recall. The operationalization measures taken to operationalize the DVs. Probable mishearings, such as Greg for Craig, were counted as correct. Other names that were mentioned on the tape but were not actually the partygoers were scored as false alarms. All other words relating to people such as sister were ignored. The final score for monitoring was the difference between the number of correct names and false alarms. 4. Did the participants doodle or not? Monitoring. DV, the two groups were asked to recall. 1. Monitoring, names of the particles. 2. Recalling, names of the places mentioned. The mock telephone recording. The mock telephone recording lasted for a duration of 2.5 minutes and was recorded in the monotonous voice and an average speed of 227 words per minute. The slower rate of words per minute enhanced boredom, pushing the 4. It contained 8 names of people attending the party, and the names of 3 people and 1 cat who could not attend. 8 players' names were also mentioned, as well as irrelevant details. Each participant then listened to the tape at a comfortable volume and paced and wrote down the names as they were instructed. The experimenter documented and collected the response sheets, and then talked to the participants for around 1 minute, which also included a debriefing session in which they apologized for misleading them about the memory test. They then completed the surprise test of recalling names of the places, then people, or vice versa. There is also a set of materials used for the doodling group/condition, which included an A4 sheet which, for the doodling condition. This A4 sheet had alternating rows of circles and squares which were 10 per row. A wide margin on the left was also present for recording the target information. The participants were also provided with a pencil and were told to shade in the squares and circles while listening to the tape. They were specifically told it doesn't matter how quickly you do this or how neatly, it is just something to alleviate the boredom. The control participants, on the other hand, were provided with a sheet of regular lined paper to write their answers on. All quantitative data.